So last week, our neighbors Nook Van here in Riverdale, their whole business burned to the ground.
Now that night, the flames erupted at Nook Van Company, ultimately destroying that building.
We pretty much had everything except 2 engines in the city on this fire. All 4 of our ladder trucks were up flowing water. We had master streams from the ground flowing water. At one point in time, we were flowing about 6,000 gallons a minute.
According to Hoback, crews poured about 2 million gallons of water on the fire to contain it.
Everything's gone.
For the owners of Nook Van Co., their dreams quite literally went up in flames on Friday night.
And for a while, I wasn't sure that the fire had stopped at one building. It was a very scary moment for everyone that had a business down here. But theirs is a total loss at this point. It was a very tense few hours for everyone down here. Shout out to Roanoke City Fire Department for working for 7 hours to put the fire out. It was wild. But they are rebuilding as we speak. They are trying to get up and running. And here's that story.
Yeah, it started Friday night, and we did not know until a neighbor sent a text. So we were just getting ready to go to bed. It was midnight, maybe 5 after 12. And my husband got the text before I did, and 2 out of the 3 of them, we have 4 kids at home, but 2 of them were still up with us. And so we looked at each other, and at this point I thought, no way. We've had false alarms before with other buildings in Southeast, and what I didn't know is that my husband had immediately looked at the security camera and saw the midnight shot, a warehouse full of smoke. And so he was bolting. So he was scared, he was nervous, he was like, I gotta go, I gotta see. And then within a minute or 2, my neighbor sent me pictures from the Roanoke checkpoint. And I knew then. I could see the Quality Coffee Company building we used to be in. That's where we started. And I could see the entire roof line behind it up in flames and smoke. And so I grabbed the kids and I was like, we gotta go. We gotta be there. Justin did a better job, I think, of really emoting and processing it, and just devastation. And my body went, okay, what do you need? And, just kind of like, let me be there for you. My kids really let it go. They all cried. And then I have cried it here and there in pieces, at mostly the generosity, but the loss is great.
It feels like it's like a 3 months and 2 days all in one. Like, it goes back and forth from like, it was just yesterday when we think about like, oh, I need to go get something from my office, and then it feels like we haven't slept in years. So it's like this roller coaster back and forth. But so our guys, I told them when it happened, the Monday morning meeting after the fire was, I'm not getting rid of anybody. So I'll figure out how to pay them if they figure out how to work. And so they're here. And they're tearing through stuff, bringing their own tools, donating tools, so we can get back to making vans as quick as possible. And so hopefully, the community's been great. Everybody's kind of reaching out and help which ways they can. And so we're hoping to get up real quick. Our friend set up a GoFundMe, Mike, and he just set it up and we decided early on that it's to take care of our employees, keep everybody paid, because I don't want to lose anybody. And in the media we've read, or in Facebook comments and all that, we've read that 20 employees lost their job overnight. And so I just told these guys that's not true. 100% you didn't lose your job. You're here. If you're here with me, I'll do whatever I can to keep you paid, and I'll press the gas pedal as fast as I can to get back up to revenue so we can keep this thing going. And they're all here. And the GoFundMe's been incredible because it's helped us to be able to have some money coming in to do that while we're trying to get back to revenue. But we're still busting our butts to get back to making revenue as fast as possible so that we can not have an effect on any of our employees. We hit a wall every once in a while. I think my wall was yesterday, and I had I was like, I just need to put my hammock up somewhere, like, because we don't even have chairs to sit on. We didn't have a laptop. We had to go to Best Buy to get a computer so I could get the insurance stuff started. But then I didn't have a place to sit, so I was like, I got my hammock out of the van, and then I realized the van's got a bed in it, and I was like, I'm gonna lay in this bed and take my phone calls from the camper van, because I can't. We just need I hit the wall pretty hard, and then he was saying today, he's like, I think the adrenaline's wearing off a little bit. Yeah,
watching.
This time a week ago, we were like getting ready to have a pretty awesome weekend and deliver 2 vans and sell a van, and everything changed real quick. When it was over, the fact that like the fire department had that kind of response, coordinated. I mean, that was the biggest fire in Roanoke in 15 plus years, and they did it flawlessly without any spreading, without anybody getting hurt. So that was pretty insanely remarkable. And the stuff that doesn't suck is just when people like come by, and like I just saw one of our customers that had a van in the, I don't know where they went, but had a van in the shop. They came by to check out the new place, and they lost their like retirement plan was in that building. So we'll get them back to Hull and hopefully build them a van so they can take all the trips that they want to take. And this is their second, but they had a van that we worked on, and they wanted to build one with us, so we had it up on the lift, getting the lift kit on it. But they're here. We saw the Candor event last night. Like even our customers that lost their vans in the fire have donated to our GoFundMe, and like, this is like we owe you guys so much. And then I think that's what even one of our employees at the staff game was like, you guys don't have to pay us, you guys don't owe us anything. And I was like, that's not true. It's not true at all.
But just the sheer volume of encouragement and hope, the Riverdale folks have been amazing.
And just, I mean, I think that like we could stay like in our bed under, like that would be a very natural place to be, is in a ball on the floor.
Sounds pretty nice right about now.
Right.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
And it occasionally feels pretty nice. I mean, I laid on the floor. The quarters let us use their space for our leadership team meeting. I went straight in and laid on the floor. Just to like, I was like, just give me a minute.
Orders from the floor.
Just give me a minute. I'm going to do stream of consciousness. Take it for what it is.
We followed the protocols, so that's the tragic part of it. It should not have happened. There's no fault to it.
We're confident in the installation and the use of, but we know it was in there and know where it started, and so it just, we did everything right, and it still happened.
My dad passed away 4 years ago, and he was a contractor, so he had a bunch of tools. And so my mom just gave all of his tools to us when we started the business. So I had, a compressor that was his welders, like stuff that he'd had for 40 years. And so it's really odd how when I think about that building and I think about what's irreplaceable or what we lost, like for whatever reason, this terrible stand-up compressor is what comes to mind.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
The stuff that I get, like my stepdad, who's 80, painted a painting of the Blue Ridge Mountains that was above our
I remember that.
It's like,
well, and even just like the conference room table and our desks.
Yeah,
we made them.
Even our forklift. That's when we were like, we made it.
Yeah.
He sent a picture of him riding his forklift to his brothers, and one of his brothers texted back and said, "Calm down, ladies." So we wrote, I printed that out and stuck it to the back of the forklift where it just said, it was like a bumper sticker. It said, "Calm down, ladies."
Calm down, ladies. So Instagram and Facebook.
We're both at Nook Van Co. And then YouTube as well. We've got a small channel there that we every once in a while put some stuff, but Instagram's the most active that we stay, and then so feel free to reach out to us on that.
Right.
Or just call us. Our phone number's on our website too.
Yeah.
The website is nookvanco.com.
Yep.
Shoot us an email, call us, whatever.
So we've gotten to be very good friends with the Nook Van team over the last few years, and they're incredible people, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. One of their friends actually thinks so highly of them that they started a GoFundMe, and I think it's well deserved. So if you have it in your heart to help, the link to the GoFundMe is on screen. It's down in the description. 100% of the GoFundMe money is going to pay their employees, and they have a team of like 20 people that they need to support, and they are going to fight to support them, which is a very noble thing to do. So shout out to the Nook Van crew. They have enormous hearts of gold. They're wonderful people. Help if you can. Links on the screen. And we've also disabled monetization for this video because it's not about us, it's about them. We are simply trying to use our platform and our wonderful audience to drive engagement toward them. Follow all their stuff on social media. Get involved if you're interested. And yeah, it could have been any of our businesses. So onward and upward.